name is Echo, and thank you so much for joining me for your May 2025 tarot reading. Just want to let you know that as we begin spring, happy spring, a season of renewal, we do have a lot of movement in the Aries sign right now, so go ahead and see what's going on with the planets if you are into astrology, and you may have a little bit of clarity on what's going on with you. Aries is the sign of aggression and force and sheer will and vitality. So if you have any Aries in your chart, go ahead and see what planets are there and see how that will impact you. So let's go ahead and start with your reading. I want to see what May has in store for you. There's a lot of authenticity calling us back to our heart space and our own reality, our identification. And everybody is kind of clearing away the clutter to step into spring with a fresh new start. And I want to see what we have for you, my dear Leo. Starting with the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, you have the Koi Fish Spirit. I feel like I almost never get this card. There is always enough. So you may have felt like you're looking for answers on how you want to move forward with things, okay? And naturally, when we do start looking for new projects, new endeavors, new jobs, new spaces to live in, what have you, we do check the resources and make sure it's going to be sustainable and that the way we're living every day is actually going to be possible because the resources are there. Likewise, we're also visiting, are we giving too much to whatever that situation is? Is there ever enough left over for us after we're done doing all the giving and all the service? So you may be visiting these thoughts this time. Just know that the resources will be there if you're looking for them. Just know what it is you want and what you need, and then you'll know exactly what to look for. This tells me that if you are looking at a current situation, such as a job or relationship, for example, you're looking to make sure you're not overgiving and everyone's giving back to you. So there is a lot of thought going on here. There's a lot of contemplation. So I just want you to know that Spirit will always have enough for you because what you put out is what you get back, and it's a energy of returns. So let's continue this reading. You have the Void. So they say when you stare into the void long enough, or the abyss, it stares back. You've been doing a lot of contemplation, Leo, and a lot of thinking on what you want to create and what you want to do, right? Because Leo is a very creative, very fiery, passionate sign. You thrive on passion and vitality yourself, just like the Aries would, go figure. So you're looking into the void to see, are you dumping your things into an empty hole, or is there something in the void that you can sort of pull out? Because the void is not an empty pit. We're not talking a black hole. It is the great expanse of what is, all that is, the grand. You've heard microcosm and macrocosm, right? All of the world and everything beyond. So you are staring into the void to see what there is out there to be pulled forward for your use. But where you find empty space, you're just not going forward with it. Next, you have the card of Ansus. Ansus is the card that points toward godlike energy, divine influence, things like that. And the bird on this card indicates that you are protected at this time with the Eye of Protection and I don't know if you can see it, he has a little scroll there, a little message tied to the string he's got there. And this is supposed to be a raven. Ravens were messengers in Norse mythology for Odin. The two ravens, Hugin and Munin, would fly out every day and scatter the world and see what they could find on Midgard and across the realms. And then in the evening, in the feasting hall, they would sit on Odin's shoulders and tell him everything they've seen of the world of man. So they were divine messengers for the gods. So at this time, wisdom or thought and memory in general, Hugin and Munin respectively, are actually circulating a lot in your mind, and you're taking your own thoughts and memories and you're twisting them with the divine to kind of make sense of things. There's definitely a touch of mystery here, a little bit of mystique. So you might be working in things of the occult nature. You might be stepping into unfamiliar territories and learning new things, new avenues of knowledge. Perhaps you're learning tarot or divination skills. If you are, at this time, you're going to have a lot of openings, a lot of divine influence. So just take it easy, drink plenty of water, get lots of rest, because when we're doing those spiritual downloads, I've been there, it can be a lot. And if you're going through an actual awakening, it can be really heavy. It's almost like surviving a sort of trauma in your lifetime, okay? So just be sure that you're eating healthy, you're drinking lots of water, and you're getting good rest. To start off your reading, you have the 8 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, And the King of Swords. We did say there was a lot of thought energy going on here. Now, swords are all air energy. They're all about thought, communication, technology, that kind of thing. So, see what your Mercury is doing right now and where that is, because I believe it is one of the planets that's in Aries, which means your communication is going to be very on point, direct, and you're going to know what it is you're after. But we have the Eight of Swords talking about where you are bound. This could indicate that you need to change your communication style or make yourself more approachable to others. So the woman in the card for the Eight of Swords is loosely bound. You can see these ropes kind of coming off her, and there's space between these swords. She could easily brush up against the sword or maybe even wiggle these ropes away and then step between them. And there you go, she's free. Then if she just removes the blindfold, you'll see in the background there are two towers there. It does indicate that you just need to free your own beliefs, your communication style, anything that's holding you back, so you can see what lies beyond and you can see new horizons. Given that you are working on things at this time and the divine is sort of poking and prodding you, I have a feeling you're not going to have much difficulty removing that blindfold and freeing yourself if you so decide that's what you would like to do. So if you'd like to change the way you communicate, the way you think, any limiting thoughts or beliefs, explore those. Be open to other ways of learning, other ways of communicating, see what works for other people, and feel free to kind of try it on, right? Go into like the spiritual fitting room, Leo, and see what works for you, because this is going to bring you a lot of divine influence in May. The Ten of Swords talks about things that are dead, done, over with, defeat. The individual in this card is laying face down on the ground with 10 swords in his back. So something about communication style has you down and out. So this points more toward not just your own communication style, you may be considering it, but it could be because of the way someone has been getting down on you. There may be gossip, there may be negative talk, there may be actual put downs, and if that's the case, you don't need it. Just step away from that person or that space, because who needs that, right? Life's too short to be told about yourself by someone who's just all up in their space. So if you are feeling down and defeated at this time, consider why you're feeling defeated, who and what put you there. Maybe it was your own words, because we're talking about your communication style, your thoughts and beliefs. If they are holding you down, it's definitely time to change them. The owl in the tree is a night owl. Owls are nocturnal. So this does indicate that you're seeing very clearly in the dark, the depths of even the most dismal background, because this is like, this guy is in the middle of nowhere, okay? And he's got all these swords in his back, and the world around him is very clearly dead, okay? There is nothing growing there except this one little flower of hope sitting right there next to him. So you see very clearly where hope is possible, and you see what doesn't work. So sit with yourself in a quiet place, in, I guess you could say, the dark. Just, it doesn't have to literally be like dark. Could be you're sitting up at night in bed, just thinking because you can't sleep. That's fine too. But sit in the dark with yourself in a quiet place, in the stillness, and really get clear on what works and what doesn't as far as communication and beliefs go. And not just what you're putting out, remember, but what other people are coming to you with. The King of Swords is all about honest communication, clarity, and wisdom. So he is the king that you would go to for great wisdom. He could be equated to, I guess you say, King Arthur. In his youth, King Arthur was said to spend time with the great wizard Merlin, right? If you believe such stories. And then when he got older, he was a wise king because of that time he spent with the great wizard, because he learned what life was really all about, not just constantly chasing power like so many others did. But this card does indicate that you are sitting on the throne, you are approachable, and you have very clear understanding. There's lots of wisdom about you. So as you go through May, I'm seeing a progression from mental stress, excuse me, maybe some anxiety, some fogginess, but then moving into a space of clarity and wisdom. So this is going to be, I guess you could say, a month about lessons, where you're going to learn a lot about yourself and the world around you and your place in it. So I want to see, what does my Leo maybe not see coming in the month of May? Because you're very in your head at this point, okay? You're considering a lot, but the divine is almost whispering in your ear like the ravens would for Odin. So I just want to see, what do you maybe not see coming? And this could indicate a message you're going to get from spirit. Don't quote me on that. You'll know. you'll feel it, because a message from spirit isn't quite like, just getting a text from a friend. It's something that hits you like hard in your heart space, right? So what Leo doesn't see coming is the King of Pentacles. Well. The King of Pentacles is all about great benefit, great bounty. He is the master of his financial, his gain, and his own worth. Okay, and this could be your personal worth. The Pentacles are all about things you can touch, things you can see, and you are yourself a material person living on this plane. But this could be about a job, your home space, things like that. You are getting a great bounty, because if you look around him, he's sitting on this throne in his beautiful green robes on this purple throne, which were both very regal colors during the Renaissance times, okay, and the medieval times. Deep, rich colors and fine fabrics. But he's sitting on this throne admiring his great pentacle, scepter of power in his hand, talking about all the power that he wields, and he's got a great castle in the background there. But the thing that strikes me about this card is the grapes that are growing over his head. I'm hearing grapes of wrath, but I really don't feel it's going to be something where you're going to go after anybody or anyone is inherently going to come after you. It's more like a comeback story, okay? Like you're standing up for your own worth, you're seeing it like it is, and you're claiming your own power. You're stepping back into your own power, okay? But grapes are also, if you go to vineyards, they're usually a very expensive place to visit, wine tastings. They're very upscale, very posh, okay? And this is because grapes are actually very expensive crops to keep, and they require really rich soil and really high maintenance. They are not an easy fruit to cultivate. They take time. They take careful effort. You have to be out there in the vineyard working with them all the time. So there is a lot of hard work that's gone forward into this. And what you're not seeing from spirit is exactly what's going to come from all the hard work you've put in. You're not going to see where you find that moment of worth until, it's going to hit you, bam, like that. So I do love that, because it looks like you're going to be getting those messages from spirit for sure. And it's kind of a reminder, hey, Leo, you totally got this. Let's go. These are my two favorite kings to get, actually, the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, because they definitely point toward a bossing up energy. All right. I would say more than the other suits. So let's go forward and see what blessings are for my Leo in the month of May. What blessings do you have? You have the Wheel of the Year in reverse. Now, the Wheel of the Year talks about the progression of time, but also our place in the grand scheme of things, right? Which we've already discussed with this Void card. In that wheel, you would be, and we'll turn this up right for the explanation, you would be that pentacle sitting in the middle of the wheel. And if you're sitting in the middle, you're kind of watching everything spin around you. You're in your own space, you're comfortable there, and the world spins around you. Not like you're the center of the universe, but you don't let everything that happens influence you, okay, you could say. The World card also has the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands, which are the four suits, which actually talks about you have access to whatever you want material in your day-to-day. Any kind of wisdom or thought or communication that you wish to convey will come through clearly. You have the wands, your passion and fiery action to create. And the cups, you're well in charge of your emotions, and those around you are loved. This card being in reverse actually indicates that your blessing is going to be not being able to pull whatever you want, whenever you want it. And this doesn't sound like much of a blessing, but it actually is. I was listening to a yogi the other day, and he has a message that says, we don't get everything we want right away because we couldn't handle it if we got everything we want. Think about it. If you got that really fancy sports car, that really big, mansion, all the millions and millions of dollars you want in your account, that dream spouse, that fancy jet, all the fame and fortune you could ever want, plus doing the dream thing you wanted to do, like total rock star career, would you be able to handle it all? Honestly, no. Yes, it would be fantastic. You would love to have everything. But once you receive one good thing after the other, it's like, ooh, this shiny is really good. Ooh, that shiny is really good. You would start to take the first few things that you got for granted, because now you're getting all these other good things. And it makes it really hard to enjoy all of the things at once and really appreciate them individually if you get everything you want, right? So you are being blessed with messages and your gifts coming to you when they are meant to. So divine is giving you these things as needed. Okay. It's not to say you won't get blessings. You absolutely will. You're still comfortable in the center of this wheel, watching the world around you and, taking stock of it. But the answers will be coming to you as they're meant to. So, when you get a gut feeling that you can trust it, it's legit. There won't be any doubt that whatever you're getting, whatever Spirit's delivering, will be for you. So I want to see what advice we have for my Leos in the month of May. What advice do you have? Because you've got a lot going on here this month. You're definitely in a period of growth. Big changes. You have the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is a very studious individual, okay? The student who is all about what can I bring into being? How can I start making things reality? Because we are talking about pentacles, right? Again, things you can touch, things you can see. So you are taking the lessons to heart that you're getting from Spirit, and you're advised to take action on those things and create the reality you want, okay? Because it's like you can't take a journey without taking the first step, right? You got to take that first step. So your blessing is going to be the fire in your corner, the oomph that you need. And while we're talking the beginning of making things happen, turning the things you want into reality, what did we have here? The koi spirit. There is always enough. So you're looking at your resources. We're talking raw materials that you will turn into this. So you literally took a journey from start to finish across this reading. So I just want to draw a rune for you, my dear Leo, and see what you have. And I do draw these at random. No peeking. What's this one? We'll take this one. So you have the rune of Raido. It's so funny because we were talking about the journey. Raido literally means the wheel or the journey to travel or wagon, okay? So you are taking a journey at this time of self-discovery and redefining things, drawing a line in the sand in a very real way. I like this reading for you. There's a lot here to unpack, so feel free to watch this again. And if you want a clearer vision, my dear Leo, please feel free to check your ascendant sign to see exactly what direction, because that may be your first clue from the divine. My name is Echo. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm wishing you a very happy May, and I will see you next time.